here. Maybe you can see it. I don't know. No, it's just blue. Huh?
White.
Yeah.
Okay, white. Yeah, you can now just imagine the blue ocean.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the weather is changing. Is it springtime in Cape Town?
Yes, so we are here in South Africa, and we are opposite the climate, like you guys in America or in Europe. So we are actually entering spring. So it's a beautiful time where, you know, the flowering starting again, and also the warm weather's coming up again.
Mm-hmm.
But I must say this year it has been also quite cold. So we had some quite cold days still, although normally it should already warm up.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think the climate changes are all over in the world.
A very warm welcome from myself and Martin. Welcome to Martin's Chi channel. And I know that you and Martin have been friends forever, for a long time, and many good memories to share of your workshops together.
Yes, so, you know, 2011, actually, and I think all of you know that Martin has been in the Zhineng Qigong Healers workshop with Master Yuan Tong Liu, and I happened also to be there. So, yeah, we made friends there, and we had amazing experiences in that healers retreat. Also a very powerful healing session for my mom. That's why it's really interesting. For in my gallery view, I'm like sitting here, and then Martin is underneath, and then my mom is underneath. It's really like this energy from that time, because I was representing my mom in that time as a as her, and Martin was doing the Fachi healing for her.
Oh.
I represented her, and it was powerful, very powerful, successful session.
Yes.
Unforgettable.
Absolutely. And how long have you been doing Qigong in general? Like, what is your background? I think our viewers may be interested.
Yes, with pleasure. I'm happy to share. So actually, I moved to Cape Town from Germany, January 2005, and in in November 2004. So just more or less 1.5 months before I moved, I took the chance to participate in a one-day workshop in Germany. It was organized by Anne Hering, who is facilitating the Zhineng Qigong Institute in Germany. And I've been on her mailing list already for 2 years, but it never worked out because I had been involved in a training and consulting organization. So I was on their weekends when they did the training, always in trainings myself. And, you know, looking back, it's just an amazing event that there's just one opening before I moved. I actually did have time to go. It was on a Sunday, and we were among maybe around 20 people. And I actually only went to this workshop because a friend of mine was recommending me to join. And she was also in the training and consulting industry. We were actually partners. And she just said, Britta, Zhineng Qigong is lovely. You know, she did a workshop in Holland, and she just said, it's so beautiful because we were offering trainings and coaching for people improving their leadership skills. And she just said, yeah, it's an amazing integrative tool if you would practice Zhineng Qigong for yourself. And having said that, I had no clue about Qigong, so I just arrived in the morning. I just dived into the workshop. I've never done Qigong or Tai Chi before. And then what was also amazing, when the day was over, one of the teachers, so Anna was teaching, but she also had a second teacher, she waved me goodbye, and I will never forget. She said something like, oh, Britta, one day you bring Zhineng Qigong to South Africa. And in my mind, I was actually thinking, I have to see whether I practice this. I was not clear after just one day, you know, whether I would actually continue. I just had one CD, and I didn't have anybody here in Cape Town I could share this with. So it was really, really, really a surprise to me that I did continue to practice, because also up until that time, I never did something continuously. You know, I would maybe try it out and then stop after 1-2 months. But here, the lift chair, put you down method, I had it on the CD, probably didn't do anything correctly, but I did practice. And then day by day, week by week, arriving here in Cape Town, of course, because we started a business, things were also not always easy, you know. If you can imagine, you're just arriving in a new town, in a new country, you're just building an organization from scratch in an industry we were not really familiar with. So many things happening. And then also we had a team of 15 people, so I got, of course, to know them. And then when they started, like in February, March, some of them, you know, addressed me and told me, Britta, something is changing about you, you know. You are more calm, more relaxed, more happy. Because as you can imagine, you know, when you start something like that, it's a big adventure. You're a bit nervous about everything. So that already made me think, you know, of course I noticed for myself the impact Zhineng Qigong had on me, but then also get that feedback from the external, of course, also helped. So to cut the story short, I have not stopped practicing Zhineng Qigong, otherwise I wouldn't sit here today. And I was getting really curious, you know, observing the results my practice had for myself, you know, being more calm is one thing, more relaxed, more inner joy. You know, I would feel bubbles coming up from inside of me as if it was Christmas, but it was not Christmas. It was really just like this chi, you know, activated, making me very happy. Also, what I noticed, when you move into a foreign country, especially like Africa, there are different viruses our European bodies are not really used to. And to my astonishment, we had also other German people in our team. Now, when the viruses would go around here in Cape Town, they would get it, but I wouldn't. So that also, you know, all these kind of things, because also you need to remember 2005, there was not a lot of information available, neither on the web nor in books. Yeah. I also didn't get in touch with Anne again. You know, I really just practiced. So it was more like a self-study to really see this is really working well. And then I got very curious and I thought, South Africa is in need for Zhineng Qigong. Marlies was right. I need to embark on a teacher's training, and that's what I did. So even, I think, 2005, later on that year, in September or something, I started. And it was a 2-year program. And then I also realized I need to go to China very quickly. Because to really go to the root of Zhineng Qigong. And Anna was organizing in 2006 her first trip to practice and study with Master Luke Chan. So he was my first teacher and was a very amazing experience, and of course going very deep then. And I also never forget Luke sharing with me after the retreat. He said, look, Britta, if you want to progress quicker, I suggest you come back half a year later. And I go like, oh, that's actually quite a commitment I should take. But actually another friend of Switzerland, she had the same similar feeling. So we just thought we're going to do it. And it was this kind of journey. Zhineng Qigong to me now is like a journey. You just start and practice, and then suddenly things open up and you just go like, okay. And then you just do it. It's a bit like you go with the flow. And Luke was, of course, right. The second training was also very deep training and more experiences and going further. And then maybe just to finish the story or share just one part where I met then Martin, or why I met Martin actually, because 2011, what I noticed, I finished my teacher's training, of course. And then, in the process of creating my teacher's training and doing the exam, actually, my mom was visiting us here in South Africa, and she was at that time very, very ill. And so I recommended to her to also practice Zhineng Qigong. After 9 to 10 months, she got healed by daily practice. She only practiced lift, jab, put you down. And then the first workshop actually happened in Germany because of that, and not in Cape Town. And it was also like the Zhineng Qigong surprises, the tea field surprises, you know, that you just, you go with it, and then suddenly, a new opportunity comes up. And when I was sitting in Bad Zwischenahn in my hometown, doing this very first workshop there with my mom and all her friends and colleagues, former colleagues or neighbors who saw her healing process and wanted to, you know, understand why she is now so happy and so healthy. That is really also, for me, Zhineng Qigong, lots of unpredictable possibilities and events happening.
Yes, and things have changed so much. We have so many teachers now, Britta, just traveling the world. They spend so many months in Europe and they come to the US. I've had the great pleasure of inviting Master Jianshe, and he's been to New York twice. So it's so wonderful to see the masters go out and teach
Yes, I think that we are very blessed because, as you're saying, these Zhineng Qigong teachers from China traveling to the West, and then also opening up their wisdom. And Martin has probably shared with all of you guys in 2011 when we were in the Hun Yuan Healers training with Master Liu. For me, that was also a turning point in my understanding of Zhineng Qigong and continuing my journey with Zhineng Qigong to even go more deep and more clear and more, how do you say that, confident that this is really the pathway I'd like to create, and I don't want to stop practicing Zhineng Qigong. Because Liu was, Master Yuan Tong Liu, he was just like opening up all his wisdom about Zhineng Qigong and his experience at the Huangsha Qigong Center, the 2 years teachers program. To me, it felt like 24 hours teaching, like we were practicing and then applying the teaching. Theory again, applying the theory, practicing together, applying, practicing. So it was very intense, and I had the feeling he was sharing everything he knew in just 3 weeks. So it was an amazing experience, and so is with Master Jinshe, whom I'm blessed to work with, and I'm blessed to know him already for a couple of years. He came to my hometown in Germany a few times, also to South Africa, an amazing teacher, and I'm also very grateful to Lu Chan, who has really helped me to create a foundation for Zhineng Qigong. So, and also to the future Zhineng Qigong teachers I'm going to meet and share and practice together with.
Yeah.
And to you guys, because I also feel that now it's a time where the Zhineng Qigong students in the West start to inspire the Zhineng Qigong students in the East. And I noticed that last year when I was in Beijing, we were doing a 3 weeks Qigong holiday combined with practice and training, and Master Jinshe was our host and was really with us the whole time. And we were actually in one of the parks in Beijing, and I was having a conversation with a Zhineng Qigong student from China, asking me about my practice. And he was like, wow, you really practice so deeply. And he was like, oh, I wish I could do it, but I'm so busy. I have my work and my family. And it hit me, like, wow, I always thought all these Zhineng Qigong students and Chinese teachers, they're practicing like 3, 4, 5 hours a day. But no, they are human beings like us, and they also have their challenges. So I personally feel that we are, with our practice, really inspiring them to go deeper and also to practice. So it's really like more now integrating, much more than it might have been 5, 6, or 7 years ago. And maybe one last thing I'd like to add is that I really acknowledge you guys, for setting up this channel where you bring Zhineng Qigong master and teachers from the East, from China or wherever they are at the moment in Asia, or maybe around the world, and bringing in teachers and students from the West, and make this really like an integrated channel. I think you're doing a really unique initiative here, and I'm very happy and grateful that I can be here with all of you this afternoon.
Yes, we've been blessed with so many wonderful teachers. Just I think last week, Eric gave a wonderful presentation and a practice. He went to a silent retreat. So every Sunday, all of you new participants, if you have time, please join us 3 p.m. Paris time. And great to see so many new faces here. Excellent. So Britta, please start your wonderful presentation and practice of Hun Yuan Ling Tong.
Okay, great. I just wanted to also say hello to Frederic. I just see you down there. Good to see you, my friend. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen because as Ami has announced, I've prepared a few slides. And maybe you can just give me the feedback if I'm going on this modus, if you can see the screen, if you can see the... Yes, I see some not. Okay, that's cool. Because I just felt, that's maybe a nice way to introduce us to this powerful Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation. And maybe I should have asked before how many of you guys actually practice this already. And maybe I'm going to just do this and stop sharing, and we can just go with like this, okay? Just like, please raise your hand if you are aware of Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation already. Maybe like that, if you have already heard about it. We can go here, it's more or less half-half. And the other side, please keep your hands up. It's also more or less half-half. That's cool. And then I would like to ask whether you are, whether you have practiced it maybe like a 100-day gong or a longer period of a time, or are currently practicing it for a longer time. A few hands, but less than before. And this is not like in school, you know, it's just really like who has practiced it?
Is it only about the meditation you're talking about? Because I don't know what you mean by your meditation.
Yes, the Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation, the chanting, the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting.
Oh, yes, I chant, yes, I know it, yes.
Okay, so also Les, you know, so, and this is very interesting because you and I are the same. I want just to bring it out just like now, because when Martin and I were in Meishan 2011, Liu has shared the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting meditation with us. We have practiced it there. We found it very powerful, and I will give an example also how I applied it there. But then all the teachings, and we had so much information. Then I went actually back to Cape Town. I applied Hunyuan Chi therapy very successfully with many individuals, clients who just came across my way and wanted to benefit from Hunyuan Chi therapy, and Martin knows some of the stories. But only when I invited Master Liu to come to my hometown in Germany, and I was translating his workshop, and he shared Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting with us, I was sitting like, wow, this sounds like a cool method. I actually need to try this. And then in the evening I tried it, and I thought, but this is really strange. Why didn't he share this with us in Meishan? You know? And then I happened to have my notes with me, and I actually went through my notes, and I realized he did share it, but I didn't pick it up. And this really made me think, because in that year when he was coming to my hometown in northern Germany, that was maybe around 2014. So 3 years later, you know, I would only really access this information. And I would like to set the tone that my intention for today is that I might inspire the one or the other who has been knowing this already to start practicing, to really do like a 100-day gong or even beyond. And the ones who don't know it yet, to of course also inspire. And I will bring some examples also from people who don't know it, who have had amazing success with it. Okay. So this PowerPoint presentation, I'm happy to share with you, and I'm pretty sure that Amir will help us doing this. I just wanted to give you some background information why Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation for us also in the West is so powerful, because it's actually a great chanting where we can solve possible chi problems. So if some of you guys maybe have in your body currently some chi blockages or lack of chi, or some organs are not functioning 100% well, then Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting will be, and also the healing meditation, will be a method or a tool you can start practicing or continue to practice next to the lift chi up, pull chi down method, or any other methods you are having. And you will understand in a moment, you know, why. I also want to bring up, you know, some in a chart, you know, why we are actually practicing Zhineng Qigong, and just to summarize that, and also where Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, you know, supports our progress very, very well. Because in this chart you can see, you know, there are ways where we can either nourish our chi or we can deplete our chi. And I think all of us have this experience that, you know, if we have unhealthy emotions, anger or sadness or grief, and we have it over a longer period of time, then of course this is harming our organs, this is harming our physical well-being, and of course also our whole state, mental, emotional state is not really well. It then also leads to behavior we actually don't really want to show, but this of course, if we are is also then not upright behavior, is depleting our chi. And another angle to look at these kind of things is, of course, our thoughts. So we have either healthy thoughts or unhealthy thoughts. And unhealthy thoughts can start with like little things about how I think about myself, and really to observe this inner dialogue. Is this inner dialogue nourishing me, or is the inner dialogue I'm currently having actually depleting my chi? And I am a student, so I am speaking as a student to you because I am observing my inner dialogue, and I am observing that I am having unhealthy thoughts, and sometimes even many. So I need to actually then really practice to shift them and to transform them. So, and then of course to also patterns. So whatever kind of patterns you're having that might be in limiting you can be then depleting chi, or positive patterns, upright patterns. Our Zhineng Qigong practice, for example, if you do it day by day, morning and evening practice, for example, then of course you're nourishing your chi, but you're also building an upright pattern to have a nourishing circle here, and really all these four elements actually supporting each other then. So the Zhineng Qigong Hunyuan Chi therapy way is actually to help us to have upright thoughts, a right-minded chi, and then also leading to upright action. And one upright action we can probably all say today is to just meet here together and spend 1 hour or 1.5 hours. It will be 1.5 hours this afternoon to nourish our chi field and to help us grow and progress. So lots of food for thoughts. And I found this, and I'm sorry I didn't put the source, I should have done this. I found this in one of these amazing Zhineng Qigong books, which are now available to us in the West. And to me, this is really like the summary of why I'm practicing and why I'm why I followed Amir's and Martin's invitation to run this session today, and also why I'm teaching in South Africa and in Germany, but also through the International Hunyuan Chi Therapy Program, which I do with Master Yuan Tong Liu all around the world. And this is like the intention to have a healthy state myself, but also to support others to have a healthy state. So to be in this position to strengthen and nourish the chi day by day, with the ultimate goal to be calm, natural, and relaxed. And this is why it's in orange. And maybe I can just share a small anecdote, because I was at the gym this morning, and I don't have TV at home, but in the gym I do the cycling, and then I watch the news, and I watch CNN, and there was this reporter visiting a school class, young kids, boys and girls, age 8 and 9, and they were interviewed about the current campaign Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are doing. And to cut the story short, they really had amazing answers. If you have time, searches on the internet. But at the end of the interview, the interviewer, the reporter asked the kids, so imagine Hillary and Donald would now be here with you in the room. What kind of advice would you have? And then these little kids said, I would say they should take a chill pill and relax. And I found this really yes, these kids, as we know, children have so much wisdom, and they are actually in this Qigong state. They know what relax is. They can see in Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton that they are clearly not relaxed, and they can see it in actually every adult. And to me, as an adult, Zhineng Qigong is really this pathway to become calm, natural, and relaxed again. And then to the practice, really have a healthy state where I also feel inside free, I feel more positive, I feel joy and content. And the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, as you will experience in a moment, because I'm going to explain it, but we're also going to practice it, is a pathway to that. In the West, we also have ideas about how to transform unhealthy thoughts, because the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting can be used to actually transform negative emotions, because we're working also with the Hunyuan Palace, where we are storing our emotions, and which is actually the manager of our emotions. So when we look at this from a Western point of view, this is a picture produced by Mark Waldman. He's an American trainer and coach, and he has specialized on latest research on how our brain is functioning, and then bringing this in to his coaching and trainings. And I just found this also like a good way at looking at this, that in the West, we have actually, of course, the idea of we just stop our unhealthy thoughts, or we just try to ignore them. We observe it, maybe, and then by observing it, transform them. We start analyzing them and hopefully transform them. We can run them to death and transform them, or we can talk to them. But we are actually fortunate. We have Dr. Pang Ming's wisdom and the Zhineng Qigong system's wisdom, where we have a much more advanced methodology of transforming unhealthy thoughts and events or events happening in our life, which we can use. And this is actually the Hun Yuan Ling Tong. So I clearly remember, when Leo was introducing, Master Yun Tong Leo was introducing Hun Yuan Ling Tong to us in Meishan, he would actually just go like, tap somebody on the knee and then say, Hun Yuan Ling Tong, like if somebody is like going on your nerves or saying something you don't want to hear, or you feel it's not appropriate inside, you go, Hun Yuan Ling Tong, just to transform it. So in that very simple way, although the chanting I will share with you in a moment goes much deeper, but this is already something you could use instead of, you have an unhealthy thought, wherever it's coming from, you try to stop it, ignore it, observe it, analyze it. You go like, name what you don't want. For example, somebody sitting me on my knee, change it. Name what you do want. I want respect, I want to be seen, or I want to be appreciated. Connect with your intention. And by that, you transform the unwanted into the wanted, Hun Yuan Ling Tong. And some of you might have heard the story of Master Liu also sharing that when he was working in the Huaxia Qigong Center, and it's a very powerful one, actually, because he was teaching there, doing the Fachi healing to many, many people. And he was actually on the way to a meeting. And while he was on the way to a meeting, he was actually running. And he was looking to the left side because that was like the practice area. And he was just thinking, oh, that's strange. There were not so many people today practicing. So what's happening? And then while he was looking there and still running, suddenly an electrical cable was hitting his throat. It was actually lower than it should be. Something happened there, but he didn't see it. So he was like jumping into the air because of that. Immediately said Hun Yuan Ling Tong and continued running. So the electricity didn't harm him because he was already in a state of Hun Yuan Ling Tong. And some of you who have been maybe practicing with him or will practice with him in the future, you will hear many stories he is sharing about the power of Hun Yuan Ling Tong. In 2011, I was sitting now with Martin and the other students in the workshop room, and he was sharing now the power of Hun Yuan Ling Tong. And I don't really remember if that day he already shared the chanting or just the meaning of Hun Yuan Ling Tong. I think he just shared the meaning of Hun Yuan Ling Tong. And then for me, I thought, also, although I practiced Zhineng Qigong for a while, I thought, he can share a lot, huh? But I mean, these are just 4 words and they can have such an impact. So interesting enough, in the evening, I was also after workshop, I was sitting behind my computer sometimes because I was working on another project. So I did some work and everybody was already asleep. And then around midnight, I was going into the bathroom and then there was a huge cockroach. And at that time, not now, but at that time, cockroaches were like no-goes for me. I don't know if you also have that experience, but no way. And before that, we also had cockroaches in the apartment, and I would always scream and ask somebody. Martin was staying in the apartment next door, so he couldn't help, but we had others like Simone. She could help. She was a very brave woman. She would get rid of the cockroaches, so I could relax. Now, of course, I couldn't scream. Everybody was asleep, including Simone, so I couldn't, go and catch her. So I thought, but Leo has shared with us Hun Yuan Ling Tong, and I can actually change and transform everything, anything with it. So I thought, okay, then I can also transform the cockroaches into disappear. So I applied it that evening, and it was really interesting. I just closed my eyes and I go like, change, transform, Hun Yuan Ling Tong, cockroaches disappear. And it did. I opened my eyes again, it did disappear, and to my surprise, cockroaches never came back in the apartment the whole time of the retreat. And we were more or less halfway through the retreat, and they came before every day. So my intention was really so clear that all of them disappeared. So the reason why I'm sharing, and this was not planned, but it just came up, while I was looking at this slide myself, just to share this with you, that we can also just play with it, in a way, make our own experiences, and don't take it so seriously. Right? You need to practice now 1 hour Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting meditation in order to benefit from it. No, you can just really try it out, do it in the most amazing ways you'd like to practice this, and try it out, make your own experiences, like be a bit playful. That's maybe the reason why I shared this with you. So now, probably one day later, Leo then also shared a little bit more details about what Hun Yuan Ling Tong actually means. And this is now also very relevant for us if we choose to do the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting together, and then also create a gong out of it. So if you put Hun Yuan Ling Tong, and you see the Chinese characters up here, you find this also in Leo's book, that's where I've copied it from. If you put it in a short sentence, its meaning is united and transformed with the Hun Yuan Qi, your own intention is immediately realized and manifested. Just like the cockroach, which has been disappearing while I was in my intention not to have them in my field at that given day, and also beyond these days. Now, if you put it a little bit in a longer sentence, you could say the Hun Yuan Qi of everything follows the human mind's intention to become immediately realized by uniting and transforming. If you look at these individual characters and words, then of course it starts to become even more interesting, because if you just look at Hun, you translate it into uniting, integrating, and transforming. And maybe I should also say that Dr. Pang has said that in the Hun Yuan Ling Tong, actually all the wisdom, all the knowledge of Zhineng Qigong is found. So if we are creating a Hun Yuan Ling Tong mindset, using it in our daily life activities and for our intention to manifest, and if we also do the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting regularly, and you will see that in a moment also when I share some results people have created, it is very powerful, and we access actually the meaning of Zhineng Qigong and the wisdom of Zhineng Qigong full-heartedly. It has actually the whole essence of the Hun Yuan Qi entity theory in it. So coming back now to these words, Huan, I think everybody knows, means one or oneness or source, or we can also say entity. Now, if you putting Hun Yuan together, then you can say that Hun Yuan meaning integrating into one, or transforming into oneness, uniting into oneness. If you look at the word and the meaning Ling, then in most books they say actually the meaning is sensitive or well informed. But Leo has been sharing that actually Ling goes beyond this. It's actually the intention of nature that everything works out very, very well. Also everything of the human being's nature and conscious intentions working out very well. So it goes beyond the meaning of sensitive and well-informed. And then Tong, meaning opening, expanding. Some of you might already chant Tong. a connection with everything, all the relationships between human beings, relationships with ourselves. Our chi pathways open up to everything around us, to all living beings, to the universe, to nature. So here also Tong means that we are fully connecting to a new entity, and the whole universe, and also to our true self-awareness. So Tong also has a stronger meaning than just expanding and connecting. And also when you are chanting Hun Yuan Ling Tong, and especially Tong, opening up, expanding, you will find that if you do this chanting regularly, that you will become in a really harmonious chi. Your chi is flowing more freely. Also, you will have more abundant chi. You will find that you have many, many inner resources from inside, and your state of being will also be more natural, more relaxed, and your own wisdom for maybe challenges you have will come out. Also, chanting Hun Yuan Ling Tong has a possibility of completely heal any illnesses you might currently want to transform. So Ling Tong, if we now put Ling Tong together, one's mind, intention, uniting, transforming, spiraling up very well into a new entirety, immediately coming true, like the cockroaches disappearing in that moment, never came back. I give you even more powerful examples in a moment. So this slide, I think I've already said it, so I'm just not going to read it, other than maybe the essence of Hun Yuan Ling Tong. Hun Yuan Ling Tong therefore means that the true self unites with the Hunyuan Chi of the universe, and thus makes seemingly miraculous healing, manifestation possible. However, these are not really miracles. They can be explained with the Hun Yuan Ling Tong theory. In such a state, when the mind is connected with the Hunyuan energy and information and works with it, then things can be instantaneously transformed by this information. Now, I'd like to share with you some healing stories and success stories. And I'd like to start actually with the first one, because this was the idea giver of today's session, to be honest, because I think it was more or less similar to the time Ami was asking me if I would like to host a session or facilitate a session, that actually I was asked by a friend who knows me now since 3 years, who also knows about Zhineng Qigong and what I'm doing, and that I'm traveling around the world to share Zhineng Qigong with people. But he had never asked me until more or less 2 months ago whether I could share Zhineng Qigong with him, or maybe it was 3 months ago. And the reason why he suddenly asked me was that he was at a state in his life where he was really not well. He was physically not well, he had many illnesses, and was weakening because of another very big issue, which was his professional life, was also at a, the downward spiral. So he was really, really in a bad stage. So because he asked me to help him only 2 weeks before I went to Germany and actually did the workshop with Master Jinshe in Bonn and in Bad Zwischenahn. So that was then more or less early July. And I just had 2 weeks. I thought, oh, what am I going to teach him? Because first of all, I need to have one session to really explain to him the power of Zhineng Qigong so that he understands that, yes, this method can really help him. But then I have just one more session and I can hardly teach the lift chi up, put chi down method, in just 2 sessions. So the idea was born to share with him Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting meditation. I knew that he would do a certain meditation. He told me, he shared this with me once. So I thought, okay, he is already, used to meditating. So he is already able to do this half an hour a day or even longer. So I thought, maybe this works out. To my surprise, when I taught it, I shared it with him like I'm sharing with you guys in a moment. And then I was gone, then I was in Germany and I was very focused on whatever was happening there. So I only came back like 5 or 6 weeks later. And then we also immediately didn't see each other, maybe just 2-3 weeks later after I arrived in Cape Town. We saw each other. And I was, first of all, so surprised about the way he looked, the way he was being, and then also what he shared with me about the power of Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation. And please keep in mind, he has never practiced Zhineng Qigong before. He has not read a book. He has never done lift chi up, put chi down method. He didn't go to a retreat or one-day workshop or whatever. We were just having literally 3 hours of sharing the power of Zhineng Qigong. So I'm not sure if I have time to read everything, probably not, but I wanted to share with you that he also, because he wrote me then, a letter to summarize his experience. And first of all, he's confirming here himself that he's very much in his head. So he would never, have considered that Zhineng Qigong would be something for him. He was actually very skeptical. But because he was so at this low level in his life, a lot of depression, self-doubt, he was lacking motivation. Also, he had many physical problems. That was the reason why he asked me. Also, he was trusting me that I could somehow help. So we just had 2 sessions, he said. First session where I introduced him to Zhineng Qigong. The reason why he wanted to then practice Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation or chanting was that he had at that time back pain, which he already had for 30 years. Okay, 30 years of chronic back pain. And he normally used tablets or some kind of injections to help him with that. Also, of course, of all these challenges, he had some mood swings, and he was really insecure about what's going to be happening next. And he also was lacking lots of energy. Now he trusted the meditation. He started to meditate, and he did the gong every day. And suddenly things started to shift, and he realized that his mood swings reduced. He felt more balanced. He felt more confidence again in his thoughts and in his behavior. He was more filled with energy, and he was also having the willpower to do some action steps he had to take in order to, get upright spiral again with his life. Also, some friends would give him feedback that he was really having positive energy again. And now he feels that, and now this I'm translating, I feel that I am at the beginning of a new experience. And this experience will manifest daily in a positive way for myself, but also for the people in my environment, for my actions, for my intentions. And I am, although it was just a short time, very convinced that he practiced, very convinced that we human beings, we have more power above or over our own body and our own well-being that we actually assume or think. And I strongly believe that we can influence ourselves and we can be responsible, even if we are physically ill, but we can be in charge to regain our health and our well-being. And the only thing what we need for this is the key to the door to open up to ourselves. And I thought, this is like, you can read this in a Zhineng Qigong book, from a Zhineng Qigong master. This is like the essence of the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting from a no Zhineng Qigong student. I said that many times now. He has never practiced before. But he got the essence of Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, that it is the key to himself, to his own ideas, to his well-being, to his confidence, to his balance, to his overcoming illness, 30 years of illnesses. So he just saying that now he has a key, and he uses the key every day to be a master of his body and his mind, and to independently and freely decide what kind of life he wants to live and enjoy. So to cut this short, he finished his sharing that he said, my whole body and he's actually addressing us now. He said, your whole body and your whole health is influenced by the power of your thoughts, and your thoughts, and you yourself influence your thoughts. So our body and our health are influenced by the power of our thoughts, and you yourself are influencing your thoughts. And I thought this is really profound because, look, I mean, I've been traveling to China many, many years, always Zhineng Qigong retreats and teachings. And here is somebody just practicing. and getting the insights and getting the power of it. Another powerful story is by Lenore. She's from the States, and she also allowed me to share this with you, because I know that some of you are using or will use in the future Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting for healing yourself. And Lenore is a Zhineng Qigong student, and when she heard about Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, she started to practice it. Leo was actually very clear to her. He was advising her, Lenore, please practice Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting for half an hour a day. This will be really helpful for you to heal your breast cancer. Now, Lenore has written to me, and I'm happy to share this with you. I was practicing the chanting for many months during my diagnosis and treatment, probably about 8 or 10 months. I would practice the chant for at least 30 minutes, and sometimes even into 1 hour without being aware of the time. At the time, I was doing also the lift you up, put you down every day, as well as wall squats and rinse the pelvis, so turn waist. My experience of the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting was centering, healing my emotions and my mind, also to set about what the doctors were telling me. The practice strengthened my intention and commitment to follow Qigong practice for my healing. I was always calm and peaceful when going to a doctor visit. I would also do the chanting silently at times during these visits. So she shared with me that she didn't use school medicine. She did see the doctors, but she didn't use like chemotherapy or something. So she really practiced Zhineng Qigong, and Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting was a very important method for her to successfully heal. And I have met her this year in June, so I can witness and her healing, and she's really in a top state now, and also still cherishing the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting. Now, also today, I will share with you the Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing methodology, which is very simple, very quickly, very easy to apply. And this story from Günther, who is my father-in-law, I wanted to share because we together as a family did the Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing on his ankle, which was swollen. And I just explained it to him like I will do in a moment with you guys. We just applied it together like we will do in a moment together. And in that one session, just in 50 minutes, his swollen was gone. So that's the power of Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation. If you're really, and healing, if you're doing the, if you're just doing it, applying it. I wanted to share with you that in our Hun Yuan Chi therapy team, which we run around the world, we have a few Hun Yuan Chi therapists who work with clients. And 2 of them are Sean and Bernhard. And they have been reporting that they use Hun Yuan Ling Tong information in their sessions with their clients. And it has been helping them to be, or it has been helping their clients to be extremely successful. Meaning they would not like maybe share Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting or the healing meditation with their clients like I did with Roman. Because here's the different story. I knew I would go away, so I knew I needed to teach Roman a safe healing tool which he can apply every day by himself. But Sean and Bernhard would just use the Hun Yuan Ling Tong information without even speaking to the client about it to help them healing. So it's also when you do it just in your mind, it's very powerful. I've used Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation many times, or the information many times, and I just wanted to share with you one incident where a few years ago, I was visiting a friend's family in Germany, and there was just a dispute between the father of the family and the son. And while I was listening to that story of what was happening, actually the son and the father didn't have been in touch for 3 months. And I knew they wouldn't really take my coaching or Zhineng Qigong, ideas in that given moment. It was just not appropriate. What I did instead was influencing the chi field by Haola, Hun Yuan Ling Tong, Haola. So I was listening to them, smiling, doing this just in my mind, Haola, Hun Yuan Ling Tong, Haola, that if these 2, father and son, really want to overcome the misunderstanding, whatever was going on. I didn't actually understand everything, what was really going on, but if they would like to overcome that and really create a harmonious relationship again, then Hun Yuan Ling Tong, this will happen. Hun Yuan Ling Tong, Haola, father and son being in harmony together. They will understand. They will talk maybe for hours in order to clarify everything, but it will be harmonious relationship again to my astonishment, my friend and I, we were then gone for the day. When we came back in the evening, the father opened the door and said, "You don't believe what happened today." He was also out, but when he came back, his son left a message on the answering machine wanting to meet him again. 3 months, no contact, and father still very angry because she thought it was the son's fault. So this conversation in the morning during breakfast didn't bring the solution. But guess what? Hun Yuan Ling Tong has the power to make the chi field contribute to the solution. So this is really important that we also know we are part of the Hun Yuan Chi field. We are an Hun Yuan entity in our human body. If we start using our mind to start influencing in an upright way the Chi, the Hun Yuan Chi, with the Hun Yuan Ling Tong information, just test it, try it yourself. You will be amazed, what power actually Hun Yuan Ling Tong has. Some of you know that next to Zhineng Qigong, I'm also having a small other project, and it's related with HR consultancy, and we are a small team here in Cape Town, and we have starting because my colleague is also practicing Zhineng Qigong. She knows about Hun Yuan Ling Tong, so we have been starting using that in our professional environment with people who don't practice Zhineng Qigong, and we have been influencing the chi field to win clients, and we always go like, yes, we're just happy because we have a great service. So we are very convinced that with our service, we are contributing to somebody. It's also upright, right? When you have an upright intention, and then you can win also in these kind of situations. You can use it, for influencing work relationships or your own relationship, or during important meetings. You are envisioning already the outcome of a specific meeting. Hun Yuan Ling Tong, you are already successful. Your intention already manifested, united, transformed with the Hun Yuan Chi becoming reality. Now, another amazing story is actually just happened 2-3 weeks ago. And then I think we start practicing because I think it's going to be a bit too much maybe. But I just wanted to bring in this idea that with the Hun Yuan Chi Team 1, we have been influencing the hurricane, which was just approaching Florida 2 to 3 weeks ago, or it was just 2 weeks ago, maybe early October. And one of our team members asked us to help her. And it was downgraded from 4 to 3. So very dangerous situation actually for the people in Florida. And of course, many people probably prayed to a positive outcome. So I don't know, our Hun Yuan Ling Tong information obviously did something good. And it was a very powerful experience also with the group. Okay, so maybe before I start sharing the meditation, I'm just going to stop sharing this here, just to get a feeling with you guys again, because I've been speaking for a long time, and I was just wondering whether this was now good for you guys. Maybe you give me a thumb up if it's okay. Did you get some inspiration? Yes? I know, Volker, you're looking forward to the meditation itself, I know. And here also, thumb up. Was it okay? Yes? Great. Because the reason why I was sharing also the success stories was that, I really wanted to bring in some ideas, in which ways you can use it. Now, the rest of our session will be, and I need to check in with Amir because, maybe can we also go beyond the 1.5 hours, or is that inappropriate?
We have plenty of time, Britta. It can be a 2-hour meeting, so we normally run from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So please take your time. Okay,
thanks. That's great. So let's see, because I wanted to now explain Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, and then that we practice it together. And then I also like to share with you the Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing. So both, like, there are 2 parts of it. Now, the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting. First of all, we are chanting the Hun. And maybe you can just, without me explaining anything, close your eyes and just chant Hun. So you can just follow me. I start, and then you go inside, and you just try to see what's happening in your body. Hun, 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 hun. Okay, so maybe you can point to, or first, let's say, did you feel a vibration in your body? Maybe you can just go like, if you did, or yes, you did feel a vibration. Some of you did, most of you actually, let me see here, second screen also. Yes, you felt a vibration. Okay, great. Please point to where you felt the vibration, if you felt any. Where did you find? Here. Great. So somewhere up here in the chest area. Some of you, others didn't feel it, but maybe just the body vibration. That's okay. Now, Hun, what we are doing in a moment when we do the chanting together, Hun Yuan Ling Tong, we are actually harmonizing, integrating our ENT awareness with our chest area, so lungs area. So for those of you who have felt it already there, the vibration, you might have practiced it before, or you have this Hun Yuan Ling Tong wisdom, to actually feel it already. So heart, lungs area, what we are going to do is we are chanting Hun, and we are uniting the external and the internal of our lungs, heart, chest area with the sound vibration of Hun. Okay, that's already like healing this whole area, but also the lungs qi is of course the afterbirth qi, so we are nourishing our afterbirth qi through chanting Hun. Now let's chant together Huan. And you can close your eyes again and just chant and follow me without and also focus inside to see whether you can, feel the vibration in the body. Yuan, 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 Wan, Yuan, 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 Yuan. So I'm assuming you all feel a vibration. Can you please point to me where you feel it? This part, up in the head, some go to the back, lower back area, in the head, also in the chest. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the second page, more up, chest area again, then here, underneath. Great. Okay, so the vibration we're going to practice with the Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation is that we are focusing our mind, ENT awareness, to our kidneys, or the space between the kidneys, so lower dantian area. So that is where we are going to, integrate the external and the internal by chanting Huan, and really bring our mind in a one Hunyuan Qi entity with the space between the kidneys when we are chanting. Now let's chant Ling. And with Ling, Ling is actually, and I'm just going to share it now with you, Ling is actually supposed to, we are connecting actually our mind, ENT awareness, with the Hunyuan Palace. So the Hunyuan Palace between our middle and lower dantian, behind the spleen, behind the 11th thoracic vertebra. I think most of us know it, but we will also in a moment have a feeling for where the Hunyuan Palace actually is. And I'd like you to just put your hand on the stomach, and then now we are chanting together. in a way that we first have ling, so very equal, ling. And when we are almost at the end of our breathing, we go ling. So ling, 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 ling. So you are having one breath and one chant, so you're not breathing in between, but you're breathing and then chanting at the same time, and at the end of the breath you go up with the tone. So you have a second ling. So you chant ling, ling. So not ling, but ling, ling, another ling, okay? So let's do it one more time. You put your hand on the stomach and we chant together. Ling, ling. Ling, ling. And your mind is focused on the area behind the spleen, behind 11th thoracic vertebra. Ling, ling. 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 Who of you felt the Hun Yuan Palace or the area vibrating, or were you able to like keep your ENT awareness in that space? Some of you were. Not all, and that is okay. You know, I just wanted to tell you, if you didn't, were you able to keep your ENT awareness in that space? Yes? Yes. Okay, great. Because when you're just beginning, then this is, of course, a challenge. And Liu has said many times, you know, most of the people learning about Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, but they are not continuously practicing it. And with the examples which I've shared earlier with Roman or Linur, I think I made the point clear that the power lies in the practice. So just be rest assured that if you practice longer, you will feel the Hun Yuan Palace also opening up, connecting with everything around you. And you can also practice Ling just on its own and focus on the Hun Yuan Palace to open the Hun Yuan Palace if you choose to. Now chanting Tong, you're chanting Tong from the center of the Hun Yuan Palace moving out in all directions. So up and down and all parts. Front, right, left, back, and down, up. So really expanding from Hun Yuan Palace, connecting with nature, with the universe, with everything, with every living being, every human being, and be very happy, joyful, really relaxed and centered by expanding out. And we're gonna chant now. Sorry. Oh, by the way, if you have the feeling you are chanting Ling and you need to do what I've just done, I don't know the English word, but some of you have heard it, I guess, then this is quite normal. This experience, this is very normal because it's like a releasing, toxics releasing physical reaction, okay? So no problem about it when you are doing this. Okay, now we are expanding, chanting out from Tong, Hun Yuan Palace. So you can close your eyes and connect with Hun Yuan Palace. And then between the spleen and behind 11th vertebrae. And from that space, now you chant Tong and expanding out in all directions. Tong, Tong, Okay, so this is the idea behind the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, and now we bring everything together. So we are going to chant now, and we're going to chant first in a more soft way, very like slow, and I will just start just to show you. Hun Yuan Ling Tong, Hun Yuan Ling Tong, Hun Yuan Ling Tong, and I will guide you, and then we will also chant quicker, something like that. Hun Yuan Ling Tong, 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 and even quicker. Then I will slow down again, and then I will quiet. So I will whisper, and after a while, just moving the mouth, so you might not really hear it anymore, but maybe you hear my lips. And then we finish quiet. So then you just continue chanting very quietly inside your body. And I'd like to take maybe something like 15 minutes for it, so that we are really having an experience of practice together. So first, I will also build a chi field, and I suggest that you also do it when you do the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting gong, that you take a moment to build the chi field and then only start the chanting. And I will guide you in a moment to build up the chi field and connect the whole group together, and then we do the chanting together. Okay, so please find your space, sit upright, byway touching the blue sky. Your feet are firmly on the earth. Look straight forward into the horizon on eye level. And look on a point you see in the horizon. And become aware also of the space between this point and where you are sitting right now, in the space in the room. And when you are closing your eyes, withdraw your vision very slowly and gently, bringing this point into your eyes, behind your eyes, and then into the center of your brain, Shanshu Palace, the home of the mind. By bringing your vision back to the home of the mind, you also become aware of ENT, the mind oneness entity, becoming very quiet, peaceful, even, light, and transparent. Bring also the hearing into ENT, center of your brain, the smelling, feeling, all senses merging, becoming one in ENT. Now in this ENT state, illuminate inside your body. See from inside and hear from inside. Smell, taste and feel from inside. ENT connecting with your head, becoming light and transparent, filled with chi, just by your mind awareness, focusing on your head. All blockages disappear, chi flowing freely and abundantly. Connect with your shoulders, arms, hands. Neck vertebrae, shoulders, arms, hands are light and transparent, ENT shining, reflecting out your inner body parts. And feel how you're relaxing that area. Now connect from ENT with your spine. Vertebra by vertebra. Let the chi flow freely And notice how your spine becomes light and transparent, filled with qi, a qi spine. Connect with your heart and lungs, your whole chest area. Very relaxed, qi flowing freely and abundantly. Connect with lower abdominal area, lower dantian. Qi is abundant, flowing freely. All organs relax and function normal. Connect with your legs, knees, feet. Your legs are like qi legs. Resting on the earth, reaching deep down into the earth. Qi is flowing freely and abundantly throughout your whole body. Notice how, when we are focusing on ENT's ability to reflect out our body, we are completely relaxed. And our physical form transforms into a qi form, qi body. And with this awareness, with this state, now expand ENT through all physical layers of your body into your physical qi field, which surrounds us 60 to 80 centimeters from our physical body. And notice how, just by bringing your awareness into that field, into our body qi field, qi pathways open, qi flows freely and abundantly, and our body qi field nourishes our physical body. And our physical body releases qi into our body qi field. You can look at your physical body as the yellow part of the egg, and your physical qi field surrounding it, the yellow part, like the white part of an egg. So you can rest and relax completely in your physical qi field. Now expand your awareness from your physical qi field into the space you are currently in. And expand, open qi pathways open into the beautiful home you are in, or if you're a guest somewhere, into the space where you'll just be, and expanding your awareness into the home qi field. Now let's expand our awareness and connect each other's home qi fields in one qi field, no matter where we are. Let it be in Africa, Europe, America, South America, Asia. We are all deeply connected by our ENT awareness, becoming one big qi field, enhancing our group qi field and our Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting by this connection. Now expanding our group qi field into the Zhineng Qigong system's group qi field and connecting with all the beautiful Zhineng Qigong masters around the world, with Dr. Pang and his wisdom, and also other masters' wisdom. If you're studying with some other masters, just connect with this wisdom and enhance our qi field with that information. And expanding out into infinite space of the universe, becoming one with the universe. And then uniting and integrating with the Hunyuan Qi of the universe, spiraling back the Hunyuan Qi into our group Qi field first, enhancing our group Qi field further, and then your own home Qi field, your body qi field, and your physical body through all the layers of your body, nourishing every single cell of your body with qi. Now expanding out one more time from the center of your body through all the layers of your physical body, the physical qi field, your home qi field, our group qi field, into the Zhineng Qigong system qi field, also the information of the power of Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, accessing our qi field into the infinite space of the Hunyuan Qi, and then the universe, and then bringing back the Hunyuan Qi through our group chi field, into your home chi field, deep into every cell of your body, becoming one, be in harmony with chi. The head touches the blue sky and the feet stand firmly on earth. The body relax, mind expands. Be respectful and quiet. Mind is clear. Appearance is humble. No distracting thoughts. Connect with your intention for healing, progress, and more inner wisdom. Expanding out into the infinity, uniting and transforming with the Hunyuan Qi, and shining deep and back deep into your own body. Every cell is in harmony with Qi. Trust and have faith when we practice the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting together that your intention for healing, progress, more inner wisdom is already manifesting. So I will start, do it one time, and then you can follow. And remember, when we are practicing Hun, chanting Hun, connect with your chest. You can also put the hand on your chest if you like, and let the external and the internal become one Hunyuan entity. When we chant Huan, connect and integrate external and internal with the space in between your kidneys or the kidneys. Ling, integrate external and internal into the Hunyuan palace, open Hunyuan palace, behind the 11th thoracic vertebra, and Tong, chanting, expanding in all directions from Hunyuan palace out into infinitive space. So Hun is chest, Yuan is kidneys or the space between the kidneys, Ling, opening up Hunyuan palace, connecting with everything in nature, with all living beings, all human beings, and Tong, opening up, being joyful, expanding, feeling free. All pathways open. Everything is connected and expanding, opening up. Hun Yuan Ling Tong. 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 Ling Tong Hun Yuan 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 Ling Tong Yan Ling Tong Yan Ling Tong Yan Ling Tong Yan Ling Tong Hun Yuan 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 Ling Tong Yan Ling Tong Hun Yuan 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 Ling Tong Yuan Ling Tong Ling Tong Ling. Prepare yourself to collect and gather qi from all directions. And put your hands on the navel. Be calm and in harmony with Hun Yuan Qi. And bring with this Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting the information of always bright, happiness, joy, new beginnings, new Hun Yuan Qi entities into your life, and transformation and healing. And feel how the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting has been rejuvenating, harmonizing, and energizing. From this state, send good information for your own practice. If you choose to continue chanting Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation, that you are already successful in your practice and progressing very well and healing very well. Day by day, your life is gonna change and improve to the better with the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting. Hao La. Hun Yuan Ling Tong. Hao La. And gently open your eyes.
Allah, very good.
Hao La. So I don't know if you'd like to ask somebody to share, or if there are questions about the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting. I forgot to share actually that you can in the beginning really put your hands, on the chest, on the kidneys, on the Hunyuan palace, and then chanting out. So you can really use your hands. I wanted to add that. And also for some of you who have challenges to keep your mind in that particular area, you can, for example, chant for a few moments, Hun, 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 and just, until your mind is really creating one Hunyuan entity with the chest, and then Huan, Huan, Huan. You can just repeat chanting here. Or with the Hunyuan palace. This is how Roman shared with me that he really took a few days just focusing on that for half an hour until he put it together, because he couldn't stay with his mind in his body, uniting, integrating as one. Some of you are already more advanced, so for you it's quicker. You can actually do the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, with in a row already. Also, I wanted to share that Ling, the information is also always new entirety, Ling, Hunyuan palace, open, to create a new entirety, for healing and our well-being. Every moment is like new. Okay, but maybe there are some questions or remarks, or maybe some sharing. Somebody has maybe a positive experience and would like to share this.
Yes, you can put your questions in the chat, or you can open up your mic.
Yeah, I have a question. Hun Yuan Ling Tong, it goes, when you move, I find it very hard to move my consciousness from one location in my body into another location very quickly.
Yes, this is very normal. This is actually, everybody has that, me included. So that is really like in the beginning. What you will find is when you choose to do, for example, a 100-day gong, and you chant half an hour a day, and you do it maybe even today, today you start and chant half an hour, you will find that you're training your mind, and the qi follows your mind and really becoming one with the specific areas of your body where you want to focus. You will also find that you are gonna stay throughout the day more in this body awareness. So Hun Yuan Ling Tong, as Dr. Pang said, the whole wisdom is in the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting. So of course, our ultimate goal of our Zhineng Qigong practice is to have a body awareness all the time and not be next to it or above it or underneath, but really be one with our body, mind-body harmony. And Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting is a great way to it. Also, you will find you relax. You know, if you train this, you relax, and in that way you can also heal.
I also have questions about Ling Tong. They're both at the same location, but different focus, right? Ling is more like connection,
Yes.
Connect to everything, or connect to where, or connect to the Kunyan Chi from your head, from your center of your brain. Where do you connect?
So Ling is that we connect our ENT with the Hunyuan Palace, and we create one Hunyuan entity with it. So it's really like mind goes in Hunyuan Palace and stays in Hunyuan Palace. By that, it opens up. By our mind awareness,
Open up to the universe.
Yes.
Okay.
But in that moment, we don't think open up. We really connect mind just with Hunyuan Palace and stay there. Also, your question is great because it helps me to remember. I wanted to share that for some people, when they feel nausea chanting Ling, it is because they are not focusing on the 11th, behind the 11th vertebrae. They are focusing too much into the stomach area, so too much into the front. But you're focusing on Hunyuan Palace. Yeah. And in my slides, I will also have some information about where Hunyuan Palace is exactly, and I put a...
And then Tong, you open up.
Yes, and with Tong, you open up. With Tong, you open up in all directions, like Tong, really open up through the feet into the universe, to all 6 directions. You're opening up with Tong, chanting Tong. Yes.
Can I ask the steps again? So it's the posture, upright posture, and then creation of the chi field, and then we do the practice. Are you saying that we put our intention into the chi field at the time that we create the chi field? If I want expansion of my business or better health?
Yes, that is actually very good. You know, before you practice, have your intention and combine it with building the chi field, 8 verses. So first, adjusting your mind is the first step. Adjusting your body posture. Then second step, adjusting your mind. Then building the chi field. You can use 8 verses. You can also make it shorter just by using the 8 verses. Formalizing your intention, and then just focus on the practice and enjoy the practice. So that works very well. And Roman, for example, was sharing with me that in the beginning he would only focus on his health because it was really down. And then when this was improved, he started to focus on his personal and professional intentions. And he realized that it also is helping him there. So he has a big motivation to continue the practice. Yeah.
And
yes.
And do it for a minimum of 15 minutes a day? Is that?
Yes, I mean 15 minutes if you practice other gongs, I suggest it's really like the minimum. If you want to heal, you know, specific phenomenon or symptom, then the suggestion actually Lee was making is minimum half an hour. So that 15 minutes you're practicing out loud, chanting out loud, and 15 minutes you practice silently. What you will find is when you practice at least half an hour is the time the blood is circulating throughout our body. So in that way, you know, you're really using this as a healing chanting. And also you will find that half an hour is not a lot, you know, for what you get, because you will find that throughout the day you are more calm, more positive. As I shared before, negative emotions are transformed. It's really like a holistic tool. Yeah, it's very, very good to chant half an hour. Yeah. Are there any other questions, or maybe some sharing? Somebody here who had great experience in these 15 minutes. If you like, you can share it. And then I would use the last 10 minutes to share with you the healing meditation. Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing. Okay?
Michelle, would you like to share?
Yes, Britta, thank you. It was very, very powerful for me. I felt it deeply, and at the moment I thought I would just fall down off my chair. So it was really enlightening. And in the beginning you asked us who is doing Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation. I raised my hand, but I wasn't doing it at all. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. So I considered every work I do on Zhineng Qigong as a part of Hun Yuan Ling Tong. So it was really very enlightening. Thank you. And
Thank you so much.
thank you. And I'd like to ask 2 questions regarding the procedure. But before that, I want to say that I think that there are no coincidences in life. And coincidentally, just before this workshop was announced, one day before, I came across to your website and I browsed. I said, oh, how fantastic. Oh, what a good thing. I would like to do the same. I'd like to meet this person. And the next day, there was this workshop. So it was, it was a real nice awakening for me.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm happy we are meeting. And yeah, it's wonderful. Wonderful that the universe and the Chi field is bringing us together.
Yes. Thank you very much. And specifically, about chanting Ling, Ling, Ling. There was the 2 lings, but during the practice, I didn't hear 2. So didn't I hear, or is it not done? And my second question is, how would you place this among other practices? Like, would you do this before doing lift chi up, pour chi down? Now I have wall squats. I'm doing the 3 centers merge. And on Sundays, I started teaching people free of charge in Turkey, in Seaside, whoever comes. So I would really like your recommendations. How would you advise? I do with my gut feelings, but what are your recommendations as a trainer?
You know, I think we are both trainers. All of us are trainers, teachers, at the same time students. So,
I am students for sure.
Me too, for sure. And you know, Zhineng Qigong is actually a journey or pathway to ignite your inner wisdom. So in that way, you know, if you're already like having some ideas and you follow your intuition, I think that is the best way to do. I've made very good experience with chanting Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation before I did another gong. For example, holding the body chi field and then do 15 minutes of Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation. Totally different experience of holding the body chi field, similar like what you did with lift chi up, pull chi down method. I also make very good experience of chanting Hun Yuan Ling Tong on its own, like in the morning, you know, to set my day into an upright experience and upright actioning out whatever life is, whatever's happening during that day. So both has been working very well. I think for people who want to use Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting for healing and progressing quickly, I suggest really doing half an hour, even more, set, everything aside and really focus on that. I'm very confident now in saying that because I've met Lenore, who has healed breast cancer from it, and I've shared it with Roman, who has been healing holistically his whole life. So in that way, that can be very powerful. So if you share in future also with your students, maybe it's also depending on the intention, a person has. Dr. Pang is emphasizing Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting and the information very much. And I've been hearing Master Leo often saying that we in the West, we seem to forget about the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting. And that's why also Amir agreed that we would have this as a topic today. So maybe it would be also a great idea, if in the group on Facebook, if we continue share about our experience with Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, and if we just see, how things evolving and inspire each other with more ideas about it.
Yeah, I can confirm about Lenore because I've known Lenore since 2008, and I've seen the change in her. And I didn't know about her breast cancer until this year when we went to retreat. So she has changed. I've definitely from her practice.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of power in it. Great. So shall we use the rest of the time for the Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing, or shall we do it another time, Amir? We can also set up, I can join you another time again, and we focus on the Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing.
If you don't mind, can you give us a little preview? Because you and I had a
Yes.
private Zoom session. I just found that exercise so powerful.
It is, and it's also, we can share it very quickly, actually. You will see that
Hi. we have plenty of time. Those that need to go will log off. Others will stay. So there's no time constraint. So
okay, great.
such a wonderful practice.
Great. So you will see in the slides I will send to Amir, and then you can get them. You will see that also, there's more information about the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting. Maybe I'll just quickly show this slide. So you don't need to, I don't know if you've written something down, but you will get this, where to focus on doing these specific sound, vibration, healing. And then also here, the Hunyuan Palace, some explanations where to find it. This is from 2011 when Martin and I were in China, a nice drawing of Master Yuan Liu. This I found somewhere in the internet. And this now is the Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing meditation. So with the Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing meditation, I've also made very good experience. One I've shared with you guys earlier when I shared of my father-in-law, Günther, and we used it for healing his swollen ankle. We've been sharing this also in our workshops with tremendous success. And I think the success is because it's so simple and unglaublich. What does it mean in English? Oh, unbelievable successful. Yeah, it's unbelievable effective. It's really, really simple and effective. So this is also from a slide of Master Yuan Tong Liu, and he tried to, explain it in a way that it's more visual. So what's happening is, now Hun Yuan Ling Tong, now the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting. Now, if you use the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting as a healing meditation, what you will do is you would focus, when you chant Hun, you focus on the inside, the center of, let's imagine you want to heal your spine. Let's take an example, because here it's also pointing to the spine. So let's imagine here you have some tension, some pain, right? Right here. Now, what you do is now, when you chant Hun, you go into the center of this body part, the spine part, this vertebra, and with your mind. But the form, you are focusing on the form of this body part, so the physical form. And you chant then Hun. When you chant Huan, you chant going out from the spine out into infinite space. But you focus on the center of the form of the spine, so like the bone, the form. When you chant Ling, you chant from the center of the organ's chi field or the body part's chi field out, and move your mind. First you move in, of course. With Ling, you move in. You move in from infinite space into the center of the chi field of the part of the spine. And if you then chant Tong, you move from the center of the chi field of this body part out into infinitive space. Let's take another example. Let's take kidney or the spleen. Let's take the spleen. So you would now have an organ. So you focus your mind first on, when you chant Hun, on the form, the center of the spleen. Then when you chant Huan, you go out from the center of the spleen, from the actual organ's form, into infinite space. When you chant Ling, you go back into the center, but now you go back into the organ's chi field. So the spleen's chi field, every organ, every body part, the knee, it's an Hunyuan Chi entity. So it has its own chi field. So you can actually now concentrate your mind, be one with the center of the spleen's chi field with Ling, and chanting Tong, you're moving from the center of the spleen's chi field out. Knee, the same thing. Or with the ankle, what we did with my father-in-law. He would do it himself, but at the same time, I would also do it for 15 minutes and would focus, my mind into his ankle. So we would chant Hun Yuan Ling Tong together, and with Hun, we would go into his ankle form, the bone center, Huan from the center of the bone out into infinite space, Ling into the center of the Qi field of the bone, and then Tong out of the center of the Qi field back into infinite space. So that's actually it. It just has to be practiced and applied. So if you like, we can just take 3 minutes because we built a powerful Qi field. All of us can choose a body part, and I will, explain it while we are chanting together, and we just take a few moments to do it together. And then I think we are gonna be in the 2 hours framework. Is it okay? Okay. So then, one question, yes?
Yeah, may I ask, if we want to heal somebody else, can we think of that person while doing this healing? For that person's, an organ, for example?
Yes. Yes, you can do that. You can do that also for another person. Very powerfully, yes. I've done it many times myself. Yes. Very good question. Okay, great. So are you ready? Yes? Okay. Then please sit upright, comfortably on your chair. Find your body posture, lift by way up, chin moves towards the chest, tuck in lower abdominal area, the lumbar vertebrae, Ming Ming, and then the body weight is on the first 2 parts of the feet. And then gently close your eyes, move your awareness inside into ENT, becoming one. The hearing, smelling, taste, all your senses and the consciousness integrating into one. And from ENT, shine throughout into your body. Let your ENT reflect your body. You can also illuminate inside. And by that, relax. And also be aware of our group Qi field. So expand from center of your body center out into our group Qi field. Then into infinite space, uniting, transforming, integrating with the Hunyuan Qi. And then bringing the Qi back into your home Qi field. Sorry, first group Qi field, then home Qi field, and then your body. Qi field and your own body. Now connect ENT with one part in your body where you'd like to release some tension or where you'd like to experience some healing. That can be an organ, or it can be a body part. Or it can be just a general area where you'd like to, if you're completely healthy, where you'd like to maybe nourish yourself with Qi. You'd just like to have the Qi flowing even more freely and more abundantly. Then you can choose that. For example, if you'd like to have more Qi in your lower dantian, or in your middle dantian, or in your upper dantian. So whatever organ or body part you've been chosen, when we chant Hun in a moment, you bring the Hunyuan Qi from infinite space and let it flow into the center of the body part's form, the physical form, uniting and transforming, becoming one with the physical form of this body part or organ. When you chant Yuan, you are now expanding out from the center of the physical form of this organ or body part into infinite space. When you chant Ling, bring the Hunyuan Qi from infinite space and let it shine deeply into the Qi field of the organ or the body part the center of the chi field, organs chi field, body parts chi field, becoming one, uniting, integrating into a new entirety. And when you're chanting Tong, bring your mind awareness from the center of the organ's chi field or body parts chi field, expanding out into infinite space, uniting and transforming with the hunyuan chi of the universe. And then chanting Hun, center of the physical form again. Yuan, expanding out from the center of the physical form. Ling, bring your mind into the center of the chi field of the body part or organ, and then expanding out when you're chanting Tong from the center of the chi fields, organs chi field, body parts chi field. So let's begin or continue, because I think you've already been doing it while I was guiding you. Hun Yuan Ling Tong. 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 Then prepare yourself to collect and gather qi from all directions. Put your hands on the navel and feel the nourishment of qi. And also the nourishment of and rejuvenation and healing of the body part or organ you have applied the Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing meditation. Enjoy this new state of this body part or organ and trust and have faith that your healing is already successful. Hun Yuan Ling Tong. Hao La. Hao.
Allah, wonderful.
Hao La.
Britta, when I do this, I have a feeling of exchanging energy, much like when I do laoshi, what teacher Luke Chan says, absorb and release. Is this right? Should I have the feeling of?
Yes, that's very good.
Like when I did Yuan, I almost felt like blockages or disease from my back is going out to the universe. And then I'm bringing nourishing qi into my qi center, and then again release. It's like an accordion.
Yes. And how's your shoulder feeling now?
It's definitely better. I mean, I did it also when we met 2 days ago, and it's very powerful. Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Very good. If we have another session, maybe one time, we can also apply the Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing meditation for another. So we could say whoever would like to be experiencing that shares with us the organ or the body part, and then we do Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing meditation for that person. That could also be a very interesting experience or experiment.
Absolutely. We would love to have you back, and please come back and teach us some more. Are there other questions from the audience?
I have a question.
Yes.
We were talking about the body parts. How about emotions? When somebody has emotional problems, how we can heal these with Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing method?
So I mean, there are two ways probably. You can share with that person the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting, so the one we did before, as this is really powerful to transform negative emotions, as we are, focusing on the Hun Yuan chest, of course, chest as a beginning, heart lungs area being the middle dantian. Then also the kidneys qi, lower dantian qi is nourished to give them strength, and also the prenatal qi, still nourished. Then Hun Yuan palace as storing our emotions, transforming into the positive, and then Tong expanding, also expanding. People who are very emotionless could be that they are very narrow-minded, really just focusing on their own problems, like they have a tunnel vision. And Tong, if we are expanding, suddenly, we are getting this broader perspective, and we are feeling one with the universe, one with nature, one with other human beings. Suddenly also we are not so much focused on our own self-pity or whatever that person, might experience. So I would suggest the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting could be very uplifting, and I've witnessed that with Roman. And other than that, you can also, if it's a specific emotion, for example, from the Chinese medicine point of view, the lungs are connected to sadness, the kidneys are connected to fear. So if it's maybe if it's a person who has a lot of fear, then you can also do Hun Yuan Ling Tong healing just with the kidneys.
So if we when we, for example, concentrate on the kidneys to release the fear, should one think about the fear? No, you don't think about the fear. You only think about feeling free, etc. Right?
Yes. Yeah. With Hun Yuan Ling Tong, you are transforming that what you don't want, and you are focusing on your intention of free, happy, joy, content, successful. Yeah.
So
harmony, in your relationships.
Would you say that the Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation is more let's say, effective than the laoshi healing method? What's
That's a brilliant question, and I'm not sure if I'm able to answer that because, you know, I'm practicing Lift You Up every day. I practice laoshi, I practice holding the body chi field. And I also love Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation and level 2. I'm gonna start practicing level 3 next year. What I find is the power of really, maybe I can phrase it that way. If you haven't practiced Hun Yuan Ling Tong meditation before, it would be excellent if you do a 100-day gong and really experiment with you for yourself, you know, what kind of benefits you are feeling and experiencing. Because what I find is when you practice regularly, then suddenly it also becomes more habit. You know, I practice Hun Yuan Ling Tong literally every day because I use it in any given situation. You know, when I catch and observe my thoughts, for example, and I notice they are unhealthy, I use them to transform my unhealthy thoughts. Or events happening in my life which are unwanted, then I also use Hun Yuan Ling Tong to transform them to the better. So it becomes then a habit, you know, if you practice regularly.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question about the process, okay? Because what I saw on your screen was that when you do the healing meditation, you bring the attention to your body, not to the organ, and then you let go, the consciousness go outside, and then you do the organ that needs healing and to the part that needs healing, and then Tong you let go. So there's two different ones, but when you explain, it's only the same, Kun, like all to the organ, not to the body. But when I look at your screen, it was to the body.
Yeah, so the distinction between the two is that with Hun Yuan, you focus on the physical form, okay. And with Ling Tong, you focus on the chi field of that body part form.
Now I get, when we say in the body, I say, I thought the body. Okay, now I get it. Thank you.
But it's a great question. It's a great question, and it's good that you raised it so that this is really, you know, more clear. Yeah, so Hun Yuan, we focus on the physical form, and Ling Tong, we focus on the chi field of the organ or the chi field of the physical body part form, like the bone or the joint or the tissues, like really the form, the physical.
Okay, thank you.
May I ask a question? I'd like to get back to chanting. Can we focus directly on, not say on chest area, but directly on the middle dantian, not on the kidney or between the kidneys area, but directly on lower dantian?
Yes, I would say yes.
Thank you.
I haven't had that question before, but because if you focus on middle dantian, it is also including the chest and the heart. So it is the same area. I think what is important is that our training progresses, that our mind ENT really can become one with the middle dantian, with the chest, heart, lungs area, that our mind is uniting and integrating in one Hunyuan Chi entity and not distracted. That's like the progress we can have when we practice regularly.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, Amir, we are way over 2 hours.
That's okay. It was such.
It's okay. Good. Thank you for your.
Can you talk about a little bit about your services if somebody wanted to get in touch with you privately? I think you have. Is that possible? Do people work with you, Britta, one-on-one?
Yes, that's possible. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Yeah, as you know, I'm based in Cape Town, but I'm organizing retreats and workshops here in South Africa, but also in Germany, in Northern Germany, in my hometown. We are inviting high-level Zhineng Qigong masters. We're going to have one healing retreat coming up in November, where Master Yuan Tong Liu will be there. This may be also interesting for you. We're going to try for the first time in Europe to measure the results of Zhineng Qigong. So we're going to ask the participants to bring their medical statements. Also, we will have a feedback questionnaire before and after, and we will ask them to do a medical statement after the retreat and continuously, of course, practice whatever we are sharing there. And also, we will have Hunyuan Chi therapists coming from all over the world there. That is very special and unique. We're going to have Claire there, who's part of our Hunyuan Chi therapy one team. Bernhard, she's from the States. Then we have Bernhard and Martin from Austria. And Huda from Africa. So that's very special. Also with Master Yuan Tong Liu, I've partnered up to organize an educational program, 2 years Hunyuan Chi therapy program. It's internationally, so we are meeting for 2 weeks every year, 3 times in a row. And we are having these retreats in Europe, in China, and in America. And you can use this to and enhance your skills to be a Hunyuan Chi therapist for others, but you can also use it as a self-healing program to gain complete health, really 100% health. So this is happening. I'm also doing one-on-one coachings. I have another entrepreneur right now, which I'm coaching and do Hunyuan Chi therapy and sharing Zhineng Qigong methods with. And I am doing this either physically here in Cape Town or online if the people are somewhere in the world. Yeah.
Yes, excellent. We have a comment from Martin. Thank you for your Chi field and healing progress. I'm in the middle of my book towards publishing. This season helped me very much in that process. Have a good day. Yes, so Martin, our dear friend, is writing a book. Actually, he's almost finished. So we're all looking forward to his experiences. And boy, what a life Martin has had, and very interesting life story to share with.
Hun Yuan Ling Tong. We sent Hun Yuan Ling Tong to Martin now.
Yes.
Book is already successful.
Yes,
bestseller on Amazon. Hola, Hun Yuan Ling Tong.
Martin made this possible. I mean, this is just amazing, Britta. I talked to him about a year ago, and his vision was that we will have meetings every Sunday and absolutely free. And look at it now. It's just teacher after teacher, and such great teachers like yourself have showed up. So just incredible.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm just really thrilled that we had this session today, and maybe just to finish it, because that is really my intention for today's session, that I hope I have actually inspired you, to go the Zhineng Qigong growth path with the different intentions you're having, choosing and deciding then whatever is good for you, and then take action. Just do it. Try the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting and the healing meditation. Cherish and enjoy then your new point of life, the new state, and continue to progress, creating new intentions. Transform for once and for all the fear you might still have, or convenience you're feeling that you can't do the 30 minutes Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting because of this, that. Vanity can also sometimes be in our way. So in that way, our 8 verses practice is very valuable, that we are having the 4th sentence of the 8 verses. A mind is clear and appearance is humble, in order to reach that. And then last but not least, whatever we spoke about today and practice today, practice is the solution. I have really experienced that this year in the Chinese Year of the Monkey myself. It has been a very powerful year, a very demanding year, sometimes also a very challenging year. And practice has always been the solution to everything. And I recently found this saying, knowledge, you have this saying in the West, actually, people say knowledge is power. But actually, what we know from the Zhineng Qigong perspective, knowledge is only power if we apply it, and if we use it, and if we practice it, and if we live up to it. So it's not so much what we know, but it's and also not so much what we talk about, but it's more about what we do and share. And in that way, this is something else. That's a bonus material. If you get when you get the presentation, you will get also some more information, because otherwise it's too much information.
Yes, that's
good.
Great. And when you send me the presentation, I will upload it to our Facebook page.
Okay.
channel Belgium page, and everyone is welcome to download it. And Britta, just a quick announcement. Your teacher, Martin's teacher, Master Liu, will be our special guest in 2 weeks.
Yes.
October 30th. And
wonderful.
It's also Martin's birthday that day. So what a wonderful present.
Well, so let's make it a huge happening, huh?
Yes.
How many guests do you want to have to your birthday, Martin? 100?
Yes.
200? Great, that's wonderful to know. So in 2 weeks' time. Perfect.
In 2 weeks' time. And then also next Sunday, we have another high-level teacher from China, Dong Jinjian. His specialty is cancer healing. And then in 3 weeks, we have Danny from California. So a lot of interesting people. But thank you so much, Britta. Thank you for making time. We are so grateful for this valuable.
So am I.
And
so am I. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming into our homes and sharing and creating the powerful chi field. So with deep gratitude, thank you very much, Britta. Thank you.
It's the same with me. It was really an uplifting experience. Thank you so much joining in today and spending the afternoon or the morning, depending on where you are. And let's share about the Hun Yuan Ling Tong chanting experience, you know.
Yes.
And may all your intentions for a very bright and very inspirational life, very healthy, very successful, come true. Hun Yuan Ling Tong. Hao la. Hao la.
Thanks, everyone. Good to see everyone. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
you.
It was a pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice.